Alrighty, lads, we're back. That's right, it's announcement time. Here's the announcement. I need beta testers. If you want to get involved in a tabletop war game, let me know. Just comment it down below, baby. Besides that, we're going to talk about our topic. The quarantine worlds of Star Wars. Now, this is a very fascinating subject because it's mentioned offhandedly, but it explains so much about the Star Wars universe. Now, one of the big things about it is what is the importance of a quarantine world and what does it do? So, quarantine world, strap in your boots, boys. A quarantine world is a world that is designated to hold dangerous technologies. Now, what is dangerous technologies? That is the problem. So, what do they do on these worlds? This world is run by a bunch of scientists and archaeologists. And the whole point of them is that they study these technologies. They do not improve them. That's a big catch there. They don't improve the technology. They just study it and find ways of dismantling it or rendering it inert, destroying it in some way, shape, or form. That said, it does seem like they allow some people to visit their worlds, whether this is like an archaeological thing where on this exhibit, we have the Ball Crusher. Who knows? But what we do know is that it does seem to allow some ships to come and go from them. And they do have high-level restriction that they even try to tell Darth Vader during the Empire, like, hey, you can't just come in here. Which I find very fascinating. Why would it be that a world has such dangerous technology that they can actually allow ships to come and go, but they control who visits to the point that they could even tell the Emperor, hey, you can't visit us right now? I think that's very fascinating. Now, we know one of the technologies that they do have, and this is due to Dr. Aphra. This is one of the big points of the Darth Vader comic, which is that they have a special AI. They have a special chip, which is his personality core, and it's this AI that was literally designed to torture organics. But that's not the reason why it's under lockdown or quarantine. The reason why it's under quarantine is because this AI is fully sentient. It doesn't get quirky, no. Instead, this is an AI that actually designs and improves upon things and has gone on a murder spree, designing newer and newer machines that can kill organics. This is a nightmare come true. This is kind of a bit of a lore tangent, but usually with machines in the Star Wars universe, they design them personality-wise to be rather kind of like dogs. They want to make you happy, and they're kind of dumb. This is intentional. They're limited. They can't imagine things. They can't have foresight into an event. They are programmed not to have these features. So here you have an AI that does have these features, and this is an AI that is literally programmed to torture people. Well, you could kind of see the writing on the wall of why this is so dangerous, especially when we see this droid in action. He goes around reprogramming millions of droids, going around designing crazy schematics to draw people's blood out of their body, to make blood actually used in machines because he's obsessed with blood. And he makes it where machines are able to repair themselves and augment themselves from the blood of their victims. He's a fucking crazy AI. Yeah, keep him locked up. But I think this actually opens the door to so much more with a quarantine world. It explains so much. You see, when we're watching Mandalorian, they have it where the New Republic is taking over and they're reviewing all the documents and technologies of the Empire. Some of them they're saving, some of them they're archiving, some of them they're shredding. The things that they're shredding, they view it as rather dangerous and something that shouldn't be really tampered with, despite the fact that it may have other uses. But that ties into the quarantine world. What technologies do you keep and just look at it and research it, study it, versus what technologies do you destroy because they're so cataclysmic that it's best off to just get rid of them? I think that is an amazing concept that they explore a little bit. They kind of don't dive too deeply into it, but it is a fascinating idea. So let's kind of dole out some examples. What about a Death Star? It is literally this giant weapon that is designed to destroy worlds. Well, it seems like the New Republic just wanted to delete the information. They don't care for it. They don't want to reproduce it. But then that kind of begs the question, why would you not quarantine that? Well, the Death Star, it doesn't have much use to it. There's nothing to really study or analyze. It's literally just a giant fucking laser. So yeah, just delete the schematics. So that way, whoever wants to rebuild it, they have to go through all the engineering work to redesign it. And that's the key there. It's just labor to get through all the designs and schematics. It's not like you're reinventing the wheel. This is totally understood concept of, hey, how do we blow up a world? Well, you need this much power. You need this much reactors, this much laser power. Like, this is what you would need. And then we look at quarantine worlds and we go, okay, what do you have? Well, you have a sentient AI that designs machines with an imagination. So we're going to study this AI and we're going to create new ways of inhibiting current droids' imaginations so they don't become like this. We'll design and we'll build off of it. Now, sure, you can always look at the Death Star and say, well, look, they invented a different type of reactor and a few couplings. This could be really good for the Republic. But the Republic's going to look at you and say, just delete it. Whereas you look at this AI chip and you go, there is nothing here that's a slight improvement. This is drastic improvement. This is crazy, the kind of stuff that's involved here. This isn't, oh, here's a big weapon with one or two improvements that might slightly increase the efficiency of our empire. No. This is a giant gun. Just get rid of it. Just delete it. We'll reinvent or come up with just as efficient cutways or shortcuts that they came up with. But I think that this lore really explains a lot with Star Wars. Because you see, we like to explore the Mandalorian Wars. We like to explore the Sith Empires. But they had devastating weapons, devastating guns, and technology that could just wipe out the universe. So how do we go from world-crushing things like that in the past to now, all of a sudden in the future, all we have is just one big gun that could just snipe a planet? How did we go from there? And I think the answer is the quarantine worlds. It makes the most sense. Oh, here's a weapon that literally sucks the souls out of people. Okay, we're not going to delete this information because clearly other Jedi are going to make it. Let's instead quarantine this information, study it, see if we can make technology that protects your soul so that way a Jedi has a harder time doing this. Or let's discover a EMP device that doesn't target electricity, but instead targets whatever the fuck this is and destroys certain components. So that way if someone does create a force-sucking cannon, Blowjob 9000, at least we have the Chastity Belt 100. This is a very interesting thing that I think we could definitely see more of. I wish Star Wars would explore this, where we would get a pan view of a quarantine world and we recognize some of the objects. We go, wait a minute. That's the World Crusher that the Mandalore blah 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 used. Or wait a minute, that's the thing Darth Dick and Balls used to destroy one of the giant planets. And we would recognize some of this technology. One of the more interesting things, it could be just small tech. Judging by how it's just a single droid AI, it could be something small as well. You could, for instance, have a weapon that, as I said, just teleports you into the void. That is very dangerous. Teleportation's a great technology. We don't want to delete that. But the fact that it's literally just used as a weapon to teleport you into space, butt naked, that's a very interesting technology. We should quarantine, study it, figure out how it works, and then maybe implement it somewhere else. Besides that, this has been Freezer 700. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Quick little service announcement. KO, Kingdoms of Oblivion. Do you like heavy metal? Do you like sending people to slaughter in the millions? Do you like a game that only lasts maybe 5 or 10 minutes? Because I respect your time. Well, here you go. Kingdoms of Oblivion. Tabletop game that is literally designed to be like checkers. You just throw your units in. You design your armies, your units. There is a list of units for you to choose from if you don't want to do it that way. and you just play. That's it. You just play, go, give me feedback. That is all I need. So, let me know down below if you guys want to join. See you guys next time.